Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Rover LR3 instrument cluster. This is from Joseph. Let me see his name, Prosinski from Michigan. Things that I want to immediately address. He sent this to somebody else. I'm trying to clean and assess, but what is this? I mean, it's like fingerprints all over, grease. I mean, I cleaned the lens, which they made a huge scratch on it, completely unnecessary. You can see the scratch in there. This was full of fingerprints inside grease. I mean, I tried to clean it with the best of my abilities. I also noticed this cover is the back cover, and this should have all these tabs in here. They are now broken. And how you did break things like that? I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, don't touch it. Don't damage components from customers. Just trying to see if you can make some money just because you saw my videos or saw somebody else's videos. If you're not careful enough, you're damaging the component that might be never able to be repaired again. This has a pin in here that holds this in place. It's also now, sorry for the camera, it's now broken. So this now will allow this to move when it's not supposed to move. And on the back, it was a lot of dust. There's still a lot of flux, and I mean, I just don't understand what was he doing in here. Unbelievable. This is one of the worst instrument clusters, dirty wise, that I have ever worked with. Definitely, I can immediately see needles stuck, grinding. Yeah, this is, I'm, again, don't have enough hopes. Let me just read what it says. It says initially cluster started to go out intermittently, then one night cluster went off and navigation system and radio also went off. Flashers were blinking and looks recycling, cleaned connections and got horn running. I'm not sure. It's a little hard to read his writing and got it. I will say it got it okay running again, but then second day happens again and wouldn't start. Try exchanging it with a used cluster of eBay until I found out about the embedded B number, got OBD readers, and says no CAN bus communication. I sent it out for repairs, and this is how I came back. Still problems, still CAN bus communication, and gauges needles are off. When plugging in the extra cluster, everything lights up including navigation system and radio. Believe it is a cluster, most likely, and it is a cluster. The problem is now what we have in or what I have in my hands. Um, Not sure uh, what that paste is in here. That looks like a, I don't know, like a anti-seize. What will you put that in a cluster? No idea. And all these broken tabs. Not sure how he broke this, or even if this is your cluster. I'm going to try to clean as much as I can here. I can give you no promises because this is really, really abnormal. I can see a lot of scratches around the needles where they were supposed to go. You can see right here. Hopefully you can see. Let me get something to point because I always like to address this before I go into too deep into a repair. Sorry for the weird angle. But yeah, when I see marks, this is already destroying the material on the face of the instrument cluster right here. You can see also right here, like I don't know why he used a pick to remove the needles. We have missing or damage. I don't know what this material is in here, but yeah, I want to just put this out there because I don't want to be blamed later on for somebody else's mistake. I can see, yeah, heavy scratch right here. I can feel it when I go with this plastic tool, which is again, I'm going very soft just to feel. And yeah, that is a heavy scratch on the middle screen. Very disappointed. I wish that you would have sent this to me at first. You would be another lucky customer. And I'm not saying that I will not be able to repair it, at least not yet. but I need to record this for your records and my records. All right, guys, so let me keep going with the disassemble, resolder, and replacement components, and hopefully we can get this to talk and come back to life. But we'll see. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, following up with this instrument cluster, I have cleaned, as you can see, I have another one in here. This is from Mike Kotoskis, I think his name is, from New York. He sent this one also for repairs. Definitely a very different instrument cluster right away. I mean, definitely not a scratch. I mean, it has some just minor scratches normal from an instrument cluster, obviously 2007 or so. Another thing that I noticed on Joseph's, yeah, Joseph instrument cluster is this. This is moving like it has no action. This button is the reset button. It should have this action when you press. Hopefully you can hear that. It's like a return. This has not. So definitely somebody took this apart and now it's missing components, missing parts in here. And it makes the repair a lot harder. I'm not even sure again if this is going to be possible to repair. I have cleaned and I want to show you this now on the light, how different the instrument cluster looks. Let me put it back into the other side of the bench where the light is better, where we can see the difference on now the cluster with no fingerprints and clean. I'm trying to, to analyze the instrument cluster. This is just an arm that I put in there to hold it. But yeah, I noticed this. This has absolutely no return action. Something else is missing in here. And I'm going slowly but surely trying to analyze and then become with a conclusion if this is going to be able to be repaired. And even if I repair the cluster, I am not going to be able to find this because this is not something you can just order. These are needles you can get, maybe the covers. I'm not even sure because I've never run into this before. But again, this is for my records and his records. Again, when somebody else touches things and damage components is sometimes irreversible, right? All right, let me keep going with this and we go from there. All right, guys, I got now the board under the microscope and this is definitely not repairable. Yeah, this is a sadly conclusion on this Joseph Pruninsky from Michigan, I think is MI. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I cannot help you with your cluster. This is too late. I have removed this, and this should not have come apart as it is. It's multiple tabs broken in here. Looked like somebody was trying to cover, I don't know, maybe a check engine light. And let me just see what that light is. Yep, and definitely the check engine light. Hopefully you can see that right there, close to the 70 miles per hour. We can see that right there. Well, actually, no, that is now the one is covered. So let me just see, because the check engine light is not covered. Well, what they did cover here, because I cannot see that on the other line, on the other side. So they put, something in there to cover. Let's see what now shows up. Park. I guess the parking light was always on, and somebody took this apart to cover that up and fix it without tape. But yeah, I mean, this will be the less of the problems. As you can see, some of the needles came out with a axle or the shaft that goes down to the motor. That should have not been there. That's the way somebody removed this. Going into more of the damage, and I want you to see this right here, right there where the connector is. I'm gonna put that on the camera. So let me just get the camera close to that so we can see right there. Let me get a closer look, zoom, and we can see the destruction that this board got into it. It is so bad. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm trying to get you not too close to where this camera starts to trying to focus and we can see a lot of lines. But I'm going to take a picture probably and add it to the folder and so you guys can see. But yeah, we got holes through and now all these four pins on the board are completely destroyed. We got a missing pattern here which I can repair, but somebody dig out. I don't know if this was a burn cluster and this got damaged, but now the actual layers of the board is completely damaged. I can see something else in here on this capacitor. I'm going to move again the camera so we can see. I'm going to move my hand through the screen so you can see that is live. And we have now here, you see this capacitor, soldered and broken. Yeah, this is garbage. I mean, somebody butchered this poor instrument cluster to no repair. Right, sorry guys, or Joseph, your instrument cluster is deemed and condemned as not repairable. I will not spend more time on this. Missing components, missing parts, damaged completely tabs. Yeah, this will be something that I will get myself into it to try to put it together and then be the one responsible at the end for somebody else's fault. So I am definitely not going there. All right, guys, thank you so much. And yes, as you can see, I'm very honest. I go very throughout diagnosis, testing, removing, and analyzing what can or not be done on a board. And I have, I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg right here. There is burnt areas on the board, missing components in here. This is again something I don't want to get myself into it. But yep, at least you can see what could happen or what can happen if you send your cluster to an amateur, to send a cluster to a person that doesn't even know how to repair electronics. This is what happens. And sadly for Joseph, it's a no return, it's a point of no return. No way to fix this. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. I will be definitely putting a video for Mike um, in New York. Again, let me just read his name so we can proceed with that one. I think it's Mike Podolsky, but just to make sure I'm saying it right. Sorry, Mike Kostakis. Yeah, Mike Kostakis. That is the one cluster that I have a lot of hopes because nobody has touched in. It's okay when they touch it, but they don't do this kind of damages, right? But Mike, coming up next. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.